in February. And that was probably when you heard about Thailand. Today, I'm going to talk about something on Thailand and then slow down. Sharing my personal thoughts about the previous future and analyzing the more in the industry trends and its challenges, what we should focus on this and what Thai has done in all regards. Talk about previous future, we have to talk about future growth. And with the AI breakthrough, it's really hard to dispute that our futures will not be AI-driven. But while these all comes to be AI-driven, exciting image, it also creates uncertainty in our society, not just in Web3, but in discuss. For example, the role of human labor. So when AI is using up reduces production, human labor becomes less valuable in the production process. And yet, human labor has been used as a metric in society, well, to manipulate within the society for centuries, ever since industrialization. If labor becomes irrelevant, what would be the metric the society even used to do our society problem? But also, AI will probably create an unprecedented amount of wealth. How can we find an important amount of wealth if you do it in an equitable and observed way? Interactionality. These are questions that concerns every one of us. And these are the questions our generation's future aspects. And that's where I say, what can come statement? For me, the intersection of the key technology, AI, and blockchain, those belong to the topics about humanized computing or simplified data. These are also important questions important to know as well. But for me, the ultimate utility of blockchain is societal distribution and business. The unprecedented amount of AI production and power created will rely on scalable, accessible, and reliable way of blockchain. On the other hand, let's analyze what are the current trends. We have seen multitudes defined. We have seen so many innovations in technical hardware and design. But the mechanism that is used to be exclusive, people with capital, people with money, or institutions. And people are tired of being left behind, of entering the bound country mechanism of the world in the last batch. They want to participate in games, and they want to participate on fair terms. So that's what the flourishing DeFi feeling demonstrates, the public eagerness of participating in the world's value capturing concept. Does this sound like a familiar problem that AI will focus? Oh, the fact that the DeFi distribute value with beyond labor, a reliance on labor. That's a better. And that is why I say blockchain is a scalable solution to deal with the fullest AI created. However, there's a deep problem currently in crypto. There's no value, no real value to recapture for most of the DeFi value. There are some, but for most of them, there's no net value increase. There's no value of creation. These policies can motivate the unreached nationals. And it's not meaning to be allocating the same set of wealth in a set of hands to a lot of set of hands in a closed system. From white paper to NFTs from mitigating means the DeFi governance must press down the time and effort that requires one program that is acceptable. How about we need to shift from liquidity transaction focus on utility device. Keep up the real net economy base, but only our real estate. In that kind of community costs, one is moving existing production competitive. Second is creating new productions directly upstream. For the first, moving existing production upstream, these are some of the that are all for crypto flows now. Organization become assets, real world local assets and become spent. The state reports after the payments process and the whole production etc. For this task, what Pi has done is solving the first problem that real world asset in function, which is KYC and identity verification. For real world assets, real function is a problem needs to solve is obviously the full transfer block and not. And it actually developed a native integration solution that covers almost all locations. And scalable enough to have already KYC and verify identity as the key of our overall engagement sustainability. So high blockchain, how they make that is only having KYC and it's making ready for any Web3 or financial related services to integrate on top of Pi. But I want to today focus more on the second half, creating new production upstream. The reason is because existing production moving upstream have a bunch of challenges, including high dependency on external environments, regulation standards, incumbents in circular economy, housing, Western community. No convention that the existing production, if they already existed, the body culture mechanism already occurred offstream, not through the environment. So that's why we've been very focused on is the new productions directly onshore. And so that Pi has done one of the things Apotheca needs. First, Pi has created, Pi community has created a population of over 60 million engagement. These are not the downloads or the signals. They're engaged. If they're looking at downloads, it's a 300 million now. Both of our households. Why did we create something next? It serves multiple purposes for film production creation and film recording. If you're a real world person, you understand the need of research. You need to have to research, to test, and give you feedback when you're thinking about that. You need to do some inspiration to tell you that it's a product actually is in the need. And that is the environment we try to create a Pi so that we create environments to people, give livelihood to potential new products. It's easy, independent of all the facts. Also, we also have actually embraced the AI with the solvers. The reason for that is we know AI is going to be very beautiful. And we know that the apps we're using today will be very different. A new brand apps will replace the current one because of AI. They're either AI contributed or AI cloud. Since we know that there will be a new brand AI applications created, why couldn't we make them created on Chinese? In my view, there's a very short historical window in which, frankly, the AI in the corporate group will make it possible to have AI applications. At the same time, the AI application layer is still in infancy. That gives us opportunities to get those AI applications directly based on GPU. If we need this the AI industry can grow and create their own applications culture, we have to do the same convention in the first half to mixing them in the country. And creating a public social network is the resource collectively created by quite community. And this is a resource that will go beyond because every product, whether it's AI or not AI, Web2 or Web3, all one user solution and business. So we want to invite AI applications, build a humble hub, so that this layer of AI application actually become the big ones start on chain. And that also allows the DeFi to evolve from that. All these DeFi elements, into software that actually people is in top of the company with those people of them. The second thing I do for AI edition is we recently released a costume. The costume is actually a platform, strategy to enable non-technical people to be able to create apps, not just create apps, but deploy apps and complete them separately. It's a waterfall pipeline of product creation. So different from typical platforming platforms that still rely on a person have some technical understanding, especially the structure for the service. In this platform, now the person can actually use the user interface to deploy those tasks onto the servers. So it has to go into the products. And beyond that, how can we turn product to business? They provide the access to open source directly. In terms of them, by doing so, we create this pipeline of facilitating using AI to help not many people in their own and run online businesses. And again, that's another model different from the typical labor savings. That is also another model. Human beings can implement AI to reduce value and the value of food like AI production in the hands of things instead of growing regions. Now back to the high level of our industry. As I mentioned, we need to have active value creation and utility needs to really back down so that we can actually get there. So that all the advanced decisions like DeFi makes sense. But we actually have a huge job. To me, is how can we talk about the safety powers of DeFi? What do I mean? The DeFi's talent performance is actually creating an incentive model that inhibits utility-driven innovation. What I mean is, people in crypto have early learned to accept a large number of bugs. And once you're presented of opportunities as a builder, whether you release the money, raise a amount of problems, release a amount of money, person to do the hard work, do the development of a very complex product, make or may not actually be at the founders, and get the product in the market and also succeed. Well, you will choose the faster you come around. You will choose the optimal feedback. But value creation is always hard than value execution. Value creation relies on product innovation. That takes time, that takes effort, that takes perseverance. And in our industry, if the culture is always facilitating incentivizing short-term return, little efforts, then the food is bad. Into the hard. And that's why I'm saying the superpowers of DeFi and crypto are currently disappointing, not facilitating future creation. And this also has other aspects of the Web3 as well, including personal resource, having a lot of resource going on, actually focusing not on teams optimize resources for success, or talent-based investing. Directly, a lot of talent on the industry, so programs that operate faster and smarter. So, here, we need to not only make DeFi accessible, but also make sure that the powerful rules of DeFi are aligned to create utility. Because utility in a real core organization is a sustainability goal. Because cycles will run out. Guarantees will run out. It's the ultimate way whether this industry generated any net volume or not. And I think the best potential in the real economy solution when machines all superpowers is moving in the right direction for utility creation. But today, they actually applied where releasing the impact groups. Millions of users on testnet, including depth, budgets, lateness, and liquidity. And this type of is on the testnet for customers and also for medium behaviors to actually educate themselves about the file and improving the local literacy, financial literacy, or general knowledge, so that they can better understand those rules in every country. And so we're here rapidly, and regards the industry of the theaters, also to the citizens think about really to incentivize the building so that they can make our industry great. Thank you.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.